Hello there and happy public domain day to all who celebrate. Essentially, if you've watched a slasher Mickey movie in the last year and went, I don't think Disney signed off on this, well, that's the public domain. There's some different factors that go into when a piece of work goes into the public domain, and what that means is that people can use it. It can no longer be copyrighted. Simple rule of thumb is 95 years after publication if this came out before 1978, or 70 years after the death of the creator if this came out after 1978. Not confusing at all, right? That's why a year or 2 years time flies, but Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie came into the public domain. You're gonna see Popeye, Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms, some of Duke Ellington's music all come into the public domain. There's some big names coming up. I think 2030 is Superman and Mary Poppins. Now, before you get dollar signs in your eyes of all the knockoff Mickey merch you can now legally make, don't get too excited. Here's where copyright law gets a little tricky, and I am certainly not an expert or a lawyer. First, it has to be the version that existed 95 years ago. So that would be like Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse or the original Popeye. Any iterations later on, that is now still copyrighted by the Disney company. All these classic characters, it's the same thing. They've had some updates over the years. You could argue that some of these upgrades aren't copyrightable. Like, for instance, if Mickey is black and white in Steamboat Willie, if he's in color, does that count? Or can you really copyright a squeaky voice or white gloves? Finally, you need to know the difference between a copyright and a trademark. You see, big companies that own this IP still have trademarks on their characters. What that means is you can't use their IP in a way that makes it seem like it's coming from them, or they can sue you and win. For something like a movie, that's easy. You pop up a not associated with Disney Pictures and you're good. With merch, that's a little harder. Gray areas, am I right? That's how the public domain works. Some works of art, the creators are long gone. There's no associated company with them. You can use them as you please. Other ones are still heavily copyrighted with later iterations and trademarked to all get out, and they have the lawyers to take you down. So it's all up to you how much you choose to use it and if you have money for the lawyers in return.